Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 38, episode 38. At the beginning of this year, I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year and to run 1,250 miles for the year. I just started running really ritually kind of in late 2019, October, and last year, 2020, was my first full year of running. I ran 176 days out of the year and was able to hit my 1,000-mile goal and run my first marathon. Not a timed marathon or anything like that. It was just me and my buddy met up and ran our first marathon. I was able to finish it within 5 hours and 30 minutes. So this year I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year in the 1250 miles. I also signed up for my first 50K, and I signed up for the Detroit Free Press Marathon as well. I started this podcast to follow my journey and to kind of document it and to talk to other runners and other people in different fields that are disciplined and that are just professionals, and how they got where they are and what they had to sacrifice and do to get there. With that being said, today is a solo episode. I want to catch you up. Today, I said, is 3:38. I ran 1.6 miles today. That put me at a total of 33 miles for the week and for the month. I challenged myself to do the God Bod Challenge this month, which is to run 33 miles a week for 5 weeks and to do 33 push-ups and 33 sit-ups a day for 33 days. I am on day 6 of that, and I did the 33 miles for this week, and I did my push-ups and sit-ups for today, so that's 6 days in a row I've done that. I also, for the month of January, I had a fundraiser going for the American Cancer Society. Today is the last day to donate to that fundraiser. It's on my Facebook. We're $20 short of the $400 goal. We've had a lot of people donate. I want to thank you guys all for donating and for being a part of it. If any others can donate, that'd be awesome, guys, to hit our goal. Today's the last day. If not, no big deal. I know they're going to be happy with what they got, and that's really awesome. Other than that being said, I did start another 100-mile challenge for the month of February, and I am in 33.1 miles in for the month of February. And for the challenge, I also started a fundraiser, and the February fundraiser is for the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. And what they do is they work to build self-reliance, food security, and justice in Detroit's Black community by influencing public policy, engaging in urban agriculture, and they promote healthy eating, encouraging cooperative buying, and directing youth towards careers in the food-related fields. I thought this would be a perfect fundraiser to start. It's also going through my Facebook, so all donations go directly to this fundraiser, and nothing goes to Facebook. That's a really cool thing about doing these fundraisers through Facebook, is no percentage goes to them. All of it goes to these fundraisers. So I decided to do this for February being Black History Month. I wanted to help out the Black community, especially the ones that's close to me in the Metro Detroit area. So I chose this fundraiser. If you guys can make any donations, that'd be awesome. I set the goal for $200, and we are currently at $40. I made my donation, still hoping others will hopefully donate as well. If you can't donate, that's not a big deal. I get it. Times are tough right now with the virus and everyone not working. But if you can't donate, please just share the fundraiser so other people can see it, and maybe other people can donate and help out this good cause. Other than that, for the year, I'm currently at 139.5 miles. Like I said, I'm trying to hit 1250. I realize I have to average out about 100 miles a month at least. So I'm a little bit ahead of pace right now, but hopefully going to keep grinding them out and keep it going. That being said, guys, let's kind of just get into today's episode. And for today's episode, I thought, you know, today being February 7th, and that is the day of the Super Bowl. We got Tom Brady, we got Patrick Mahomes, we got them going head to head. So, with tonight being the Super Bowl, I wanted to theme today's episode on what I believe will actually be the deciding factor of who will win and be crowned tonight's winner. So, with that being said, I present you today's episode number 38, Moment. All it takes in life is a single moment that can completely change the outcome of something. And just like in the big game, these big moments can translate into our own lives, and what we do in these big moments is what can send us on our path to success or despair. And it's not even just these big moments. It's every moment we make, they send us on a certain path of, more of right or more wrong. So I know a lot of people think, every moment doesn't matter, but every little thing you do has an outcome. So with that being said, you guys may ask yourself, when are these moments? How do you define these moments? And how do I know if these moments are occurring? And the answer, like I just said, it isn't so just cut and dry. These moments are always happening. Every decision you make is sending you on a path for better or for worse. So I think there are 3 ways to approach this. And I think one of the ways is the correct way. And since today is the big superb owl, I'm gonna kind of use football terminology and use it as an analogy to help explain it. So one way to approach this is, now that you know that every moment counts, you can slowly live and try to live in every moment. Live in the moment with no regards at all to the future. And one example to use in football terms would be, you realize every moment is necessary, so you use all of your best players for every play, and you never substitute in any other players. You never give them a break, and you just completely break them down. So by the time, even the second half comes around, your team's completely depleted and you just get wrecked. I mean, you don't think about what's going to happen. All you think about is, right now we need our best players. We need, you're too focused on the now instead of worrying about what can happen by you focusing on the now. The way you approach the now is what you got to do. And a life example to that is kind of like, the same thing is living too much in the now, and living it up so hard that it's almost impossible to sustain a healthy long life, and you're going to get beaten down quickly, and you're going to party hard or whatever constantly, and you're going to be riddled with diseases and all these other things because you just never stopped living for the moment and not thinking about what your future will entail living like that. Another way to approach the moment by moment thing is, the second way to do it is to completely ignore the moment, even after knowing the significance of the moment, and to just focus blindly on your future. And, a football example of this would kind of be like, your team's winning by 6 points. It's currently in the 4th quarter. There's a minute and a half left on the clock. You're on offense. It's currently 4th and 1, and you're on your own 40-yard line. The other team, they have no more timeouts. and you have a decision to make. So you decide to play conservative and you punt the ball because you're up by 6. And after you punt the ball with that 6-point lead, they run it back for a TD and you lose. Okay? You didn't see the significance of the moment you were in, and you only thought about, hey, we're winning. The future is set. I got the future ahead of me. I know what's going on. And you let it slip right out of your hands, and it completely changed everything. You didn't focus enough on the moment. And, a life example of that would be, sacrificing certain opportunities to seize the moment just because you're focused and you're too focused on a misconceived future. So you don't want to find yourself in that situation. Lastly, though, I think this is the best way to approach moment by moment living and just moments in general is there's the way of balance, and it's to try to understand that each moment can become that big defining moment. So you have to pay attention to each moment. But you also can't lose sight of what your future may hold. You got to focus on if this moment turns into that big moment, what will happen because of that. Like, you have to connect both of those together. You have to live on this balance beam of living in the moment and living for your future, and figure a way to conjoin them and keep them together. And it's like the yin and yang, the good and evil, the chaos and order. Like, you have to balance out the moment and your future. And the football example of this is kind of like the exact opposite of what happened in the first two examples. Like I said, the first example is that you don't substitute. You live too much in the moment, and you don't ever substitute your players to switch out, and your players get worn out. Well, the exact opposite of that would be, recognizing that you need to have your best players out there. So maybe put them out there 75% of the plays and substitute 25% of the plays in order to sacrifice for your future, to make sure that the whole entire game you got your players playing at the best capability that they can play. You don't want them completely worn out by the time the second half rolls around. Like, you want to be able to substitute your players. And the other example I gave was being down or being up by 6 points in the fourth quarter with 1:30 on the clock. The other team's got no timeouts. It's 4th and 1, and you decide to punt. Like, yes, you might be on your own 40-yard line, but if you get that 1 yard, the game is over. It's yours. You can run the clock out. It's all you need. It's a game time decision. And, he was living too much in the future of seeing, hey, I'm up right now. I'm doing good right now. I don't need to recognize what's happening in this moment. I need to focus on how I'm going to celebrate when the Gatorade gets poured over my head. And all, you don't think about what the moment needs at that moment. You're too focused on the future. So that would be the two life example or football examples of trying to find that balance. But a life example of that would be a life example would be living every moment to the fullest. A life example would be living every moment. A life example would be living every moment to its fullest capability, while also being conscious of the outcome of your decisions and how that will reflect on your future moments. I know that was a little, maybe a little confusing, but what I'm trying to say is you need to have every moment in mind, but also think in that moment, how will this affect me within the future, and vice versa. When you're thinking about your future, look back and see what moments you're in right now and what decision you are gonna make that's gonna help direct you to that future. Don't focus too much on the future that you're blinded by the moment, and don't be focused too much on the moment that you're blinded by the future. That being said, guys, thank you so much. This is episode 38. It's been 38 wonderful days. It's been a struggle some days. It's been easy peasy other days. My run today was a little heavy. Didn't feel too great. There's a lot of snow on the ground, and it's iced over in certain spots. And I try to run on the spots that aren't already walked on, because it's once it gets iced over and there's footsteps everywhere, you kind of start rolling your ankles. It's a little sloppy. So I didn't feel like I was going too fast today, and I felt a little sluggish, but I still was out there. I got my 33 miles in for the week. That being said, at the end of this video coming up, I'm going to attach the push-ups and sit-ups for today that I got done. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening and being a part of the podcast. I appreciate all the feedback so far and the likes and the comments that you guys left and have given. If you can, please share, like, and subscribe to my Facebook, my Instagram, and my YouTube page. Also, you can find us on the podcast streaming platforms. If you want to just listen along and not be able to visualize, that's fine. On the podcast platforms, I clearly don't add the sound of me doing the push-ups and the sit-ups, so if you want to hear that or see that, you're going to have to go to the YouTube video. But if you're just listening along, you're just going to have to believe that I got those done without actually seeing them or hearing them. But like I said, it's on the YouTube video for the God Bod Challenge. Today is day 38, like I said. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to leave you with your daily discipline, and that is to define the moment and not let the moment define you. It is to recognize your future and what you can do in your moments to help better suit and direct you towards that future that you want. Don't be too blinded by your future that you can't focus on the moments that will direct you there, but also don't be too blinded by the moments that you can't even direct yourself to your future. That being said, guys, this has been another episode of the Defining Discipline podcast. I got a few things cooking up right now, a few new ideas and few things coming up. I don't want to mention it yet till I get the ball rolling on all that stuff. But thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys stay disciplined. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. February 7th, 2021, day 6. God Bod Challenge. Oh, getting hot. Done. With the help and support of Daisy.